Ooh.
Ooh.
We're back by the looks of things.
Planetkey versus Playing Ducks. That's what we will be seeing in just a while. And
What a flawless entry. What a flawless intro.
is the last best of one.
It is actually the last best of one. This is the lower bracket final. The winners of this will meet. Who will they meet? They'll meet Isuba in the grand final, which will be a best of 3 in about an hour and a half's time. So tune in for that as well. Put that on your calendar. Put that on your watch. If you've got a little Apple Watch, you should definitely put a little notification for that one because it's going to be a great series as well.
Put that on your Apple if you don't have a watch.
Esports have really shown us some really great Counter-Strike from start to finish, so I'm looking forward to what they have to offer in the grand final against whoever meets them today. And the people who will be meeting them will be one of these next two teams. It's going to be Planetkey. It'll be Planetkey versus Playing Ducks.
Yeah, one of these two teams, and I honestly don't know what to say. I mean, I would love to see Playing Ducks face off against Isuba again, just as much as I would love to see Planetkey face off against them again. Both of the matches, both of the possible matchups in the grand finals will be amazing, that I'm sure of. But then also comes in the fatigue factor that Playing Ducks would be playing their third map in a row. The first map in a best of 3 would be the third in a row. So there's a possibility.
Series in a row, so it could go 4 and 5, and at that point you've got to be really drained because then you're playing like a whole best of 5 or what feels like a whole best of 5. We do have breaks in between maps. We will have like the 5-10 minute break for the teams to recuperate, but that's not really enough, is it? That's the point that I was going to touch on there. I think that you do need half an hour. I think that you need to sit. I think you need to lie down actually after a long haul match of CSGO. I think that you need to have a lie down, and I think you also need to look at your like actually review your demo to the best of your ability. You need to between matches have a look at those retake scenarios. We heard, I think it was a player from Playing Ducks earlier saying, "Oh yeah, we played some retakes really horribly." So we went back, had a look at them, and reevaluated the situation. And we just saw it in the previous match. They seem to be really, really strong, especially on those retakes.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. And what I think, like what you skipped right here, and what we had going on like last week, every single team would get a huge order of pizza in here, and I mean everybody's got to eat, right? Something warm, something actually.
Oh, I might get a Chinese and an Indian. And, that sounds very nice.
Yeah, it's just go ahead, try if you know German.
Sure thing. Hallo, kann ich habe eine Indian? I don't know. I don't know German, mate. I don't know how to speak. I barely speak English, but...
Yeah, all right. But yeah, anyway, yeah, that's the thing. Basically, you cannot eat anything bigger in like the span of 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So if you really want to have like a dish, then you have to have that 1 hour of a break between the matches. Then you want to probably have a rest because right after eating, you're going to feel a little bit heavy and stuff like that. And you're staying here an entire day. There's no possibility not to eat because it's going to be worse, right?
Yeah, and I know that these teams do have and have had like a really long day ahead of them. If you're playing 5 to 7 hours of Counter-Strike straight without a pause, that can really take its toll. That's like a whole waking day pretty much for some people. It's like this match in particular, though. How do you think it's going to pan out?
It's tough for me to say because I feel like I exhausted the possibility to like neglect Planetkey for today anymore. I can't say that I don't believe them anymore. I mean, these guys are definitely really good, but I just had that feeling that Isuba would take it, and I wanted to like stay with it. I wanted to stand strong with this opinion. But right here, I feel like Playing Ducks are not convincing enough to be able to take this matchup. Like, this far, they could have done... I mean, yes, they made an amazing comeback against Isuba, but then you have that sour taste left over because they didn't quite make it at the very end. But against Gameplay DNA, they were also able to close it out with like 16-6, or maybe even better of a scoreline, yet they didn't make it. So they gave up a little bit more rounds. They had to struggle. It had to go down to like individual performance, because if not Kalinka's quad kills, then it probably would have taken 3 or 4 more rounds, and maybe even an overtime to beat them. Who the hell knows? So basically, I don't think that Planetkey are struggling with such issues, with such mistakes right there.
Well, as you know, insider insight is what I'm all about. I just bumped into one of the Playing Ducks members in the toilet, and he told me that they aren't feeling very confident coming into this one. He was personally feeling confident, and his personal game was feeling confident. I'm not going to talk about who I met in the toilet or whatever,
Okay, yeah, sure.
but they aren't feeling great against Planetkey Dynamics here.
All right, so that's what I'm thinking too. Unfortunately, I am thinking that Planetkey should be the ones to take this matchup. Although
I think it makes sense, right?
yeah, although whoever turns out to be the victor, I can assure you that the final is going to be good. Then it comes down, once again to how tired the players are actually going to be, which definitely will be a problem for everybody but Esports. But then it's definitely going to be high-level Counter-Strike. It might be just that Esports will not be struggling so much. But then that also like makes me approach the topic of Esports taking it. That's what I'm assuming right off the bat, right? So maybe indeed it's not going to be that 3-map amazing of a grand final. But the benefit of having rested for so long, like right now, these guys are taking pictures.
You can see it on the camera as well. They're taking pictures in front of Big Betty. We can see it literally just there. They're having a grand old time while this lower bracket final's going on. They've got a lot of time to actually chillax, put the feet up, actually take a couple of hours off a schedule.
They're doing whatever they want. They can play, because there are some free-to-play PCs, so they can easily take that at any moment if they wanted to play like some retakes or watch the demos or whatever. They have the time to eat, so they are definitely like feeling well on the bio level, so to speak. And then they're also like relaxing, chilling, doing all the formalities and stuff. So not only they are happy, the sponsors are happy, their team, their organization, and everybody involved. So these guys right now are just having a time of their life.
Yeah, they got more than enough time to pose for pictures. You can see them having a jolly old time there. However, these two teams in the lower bracket final aren't having a good time at all. They both lost games today. They both lost one best of one,
I mean,
won
such a pressure.
another one. And they're going to have to play some more Counter-Strike. And I know that we might like joke about it and stuff, about, it's just playing more Counter-Strike and stuff. However, that does take its toll when there's actual money on the line, pride on the line as well. They want to be winning this one.
And yeah, it's so much different than your regular, like playing, I don't know, like maybe FPL or whatever you would normally play. It's just so much different, on such a different like energy drain level to play a team game, actually.
Yeah.
Like stay 110% focused at every single moment. And then also, as you said, like the pressure from the crowd, the pressure that comes overall from the atmosphere that is on a LAN tournament. You have an enemy team right up against you, and you're looking them in the eye, and you have to crush them. But then, when you're gameplay DNA, you know that they're stronger than you, unfortunately, and you're just trying to come up with an idea of how to beat them. It exhausts you in a matter of minutes, and we're talking about long hours right here. And also, one thing that I wanted to point out that not many people I kind of realize, many times when you're watching tournaments, you would see players sweating, like looking sweaty all over the foreheads.
Don't know what you're on about, mate. Don't know what the hell you're on about.
For me, right here, we're not having such a bad time right here, but on the main stage, there are so many lights. And like studio lights, they create so much heat. that's it's pretty bad. And they're also sitting right next to the speakers, so
they're in quite an enclosed area, all breathing at the same time.
yeah, there's flashing and bright lights. There's speakers and loud sounds, and a huge amount of people in here.
Computers
it just
as well,
tires
high-powered
you
computers
so much.
giving off heat. It's such a draining atmosphere playing so much in one day, and that's why we have to talk about the disadvantage of having to play that lower bracket final before one of these teams make it against the Super later today. Obviously, that was seen as an upset. However, if they can repeat it, then can we even call it an upset anymore, or are they just better? Have they just outmatched, out-prepared coming into this tournament? I think that we've got a lot of talking points.
Oh yeah, it's definitely tough to say like when you put it like this. Overall, though, what we mentioned when Esports won their match against Planetkey is that they already guaranteed themselves at least the second place spot, and this is also a tough situation for both these teams that will be facing off against either Planeducks or Planetkey. The loser still gets the same amount of money as the fourth place, so that's very, very little, and they will not be happy about it at all. So it's a battle for, I'm not going to say life or death, but it's definitely going to be a battle between whether it was worth it to come here in the first place at all or not.
I think the experience of coming to LAN is always worth it as a caster, as a player, or as just as a member of SAL. I think it's always worth it, no matter whether you win or lose or completely just get crushed. I think that the experience definitely matters. However, in a game like this, I think that we've got a lot of talking points. Firstly, if we talk about the players, if we talk about why are these teams so scared of why are they so scared of Planetkey dynamics? And the reason is because of players like Robson, some of the most glorified and celebrated teams in German Counter-Strike history. Obviously, Penta made it to a bunch of different major quarterfinals, but mainly DreamHack Winter 2014 with him. So they're obviously going to be scared of players with that sort of tenure.
Yeah. All right. So right now we're going to transfer over to the stage as the teams are ready for the pre-game interviews, and then we'll touch a little bit more on the German teams and why everybody is so afraid of Planetkey.
Hi guys, thank you very much for setting it up here. We were just talking about the ECS and who would win, so it's pretty exciting, fans here. I think we're just going to keep it short and sweet because these guys are eager to get at it together. Just going to ask them, what do you need to do to win?
Yeah, just play our best, get the map we want, and just stay focused and win the game.
What about you guys?
I would say just to be confident.
That's it? Yep. There we go. All right, guys, good luck. I hope we have a great match and back to the desk.
Yeah, short but sweet. They didn't really have a lot to say to each other, did they? They just wanted to get on and play some Counter-Strike. Lucky. He obviously just wants to go back to his desk with his team, and not much chit-chat, not much jibber-jabber there.
Yeah, one guy was like, from Playing Ducks was like completely laying back on the chair and was almost falling asleep, so I can see where they're going. I mean, and it's also a good attitude kind of to get as quickly into the game as possible, because you're tired, and the more you're sitting around idly and not doing anything, the more it gets to you. The more you want to sleep, actually, the more you don't want to do it anymore.
Right, yeah, the more time that passes, obviously you're going to be more and more drained, less inclined to want to get in the server and play some Counter-Strike, and one of these teams has a hell of a lot more Counter-Strike to come. And if we actually talk about this matchup, though, we've obviously got Planetkey versus Playing Ducks in this one. Like, what are you saying as a prediction?
I'm going to go for Planetkey.
Okay, I think that's sensible.
No idea what it's going to look like in the rounds, because I'm not sure how long Playing Ducks can keep up this act of like maybe getting a big advantage and then being upset again for a long time, and then maybe or trying to make their own comeback and stuff like that, because these guys have been extremely inconsistent this far, but somehow pulling it through, or not necessarily in the case of the match against Esports, but overall they're getting good scores, but sometimes not necessarily justified. While Planetkey, they're solidly doing their own thing. I mean, these guys, as you said, are very experienced, are very well known in Germany, are a team to be respected, and they're just following their style. That's the first thing we noticed when they played against Gameplay DNA, and they didn't do anything really different against eSub. It was just that eSub proved to be a better team. It's not like because they screwed up big time, like playing Ducks a couple of times in the previous match against Gameplay DNA, where they could have closed it out.
I think that you're very sensible to go for Planetkey Dynamics in this one. I think that they probably do hold the advantage coming into this, obviously with playing Ducks not feeling very confident. And they're not feeling very confident for a number of reasons. As we said, they're actually a little bit scared of playing this Planetkey side. And it's due to players across the board. Obviously, we've got Robson, who we've touched on already, but Alex has been on fire today. The AWP on him have been firing from all cylinders, especially on that overpass. I'd love to see him some more overpass in this tournament. And I feel like we're setting up for a Planetkey versus eSub rematch.
Might be a thing, but whoever wins this is going to be a rematch, actually, right? This is, as I said before the previous match started, this is the matchup that we've not seen yet. And in theory, it should be extremely evened out, but we know that it does not work like that in esports, that if Team A beats Team B and Team B beats Team C, so Team C is the worst and A is the best, C can just as well upset Team A, and I think
that applies even more in Counter-Strike, where you've got very definitive styles of aggressive teams and passive teams and tactical teams. Not always, and there's a lot of the time there's a big mismatch in terms of those different teams. I remember, can you remember that graph that was on HLTV, or that chart that was like Na'Vi always beats Virtus Pro, but Virtus Pro always beats Astralis, but Astralis always beats Na'Vi, and then it went round in the circle all the time, and then SK joined in the mix as well. You see it with these teams as well. There's very much a lack of consistency in terms of who you can beat, who you can't beat, who's going to show up on the day, and even less than that, who shows up in the match.
Yeah, so in the rankings, actually, that's the thing. Some people just look a little bit too much into the rankings, right?
I think that the rankings don't actually tell you that much, to be honest, especially when they're just brutally based off numbers. Yeah, they can tell you who's the best team in the world, but when... Okay, then I'll re-emphasize what I'm saying. But when you get to the Tier 2 level of play, it definitely doesn't show you who's going to match up well against who. I think then you need... I think you need experts to come in and actually analyze these matches and have a couple of words with a viewer about the matchups, the players as well. Each individual player as well can have mismatches amongst the game.
Yeah, that's the thing, because like in Tier 2, it comes down to like maybe sometimes more local scenes. So there are some, for instance, Lithuanian teams that mostly take part in like these Russian tournaments or the Balkan tournaments, and it's hard for them to meet a German team or a French team or anything along these lines. Maybe they get like once a year an opportunity like that, and that's why these stats are never going to tell you anything, because them winning the Russian tournaments is going to put them at like place 800. And the German team, just for the sake of being in the German like championship, is going to be on place 100. But it doesn't mean anything really, because they never faced off against each other, and the Russian team could be like 10 times better than them.
Yeah, personally, I don't think being invited to an invite tournament should definitely correlate to getting a rank. If you lose against better opposition and somebody's winning against worse opposition, it doesn't always correlate that one's better than the other. I think that you actually have to play Counter-Strike against each other to find out who's the better team. And I think that today has shown us that alone, with eSuper maybe being an underdog coming into that initial match, but winning it anyway. And I think that despite my predictions being on point, I don't know if the rankings necessarily held up.
Yeah, and right here, I mean, like, Playing Ducks is saying that maybe they're afraid of Planetkey Dynamics a little bit, but
I'm afraid of them.
They can't actually...
That's a big guy.
the fact that they can't actually say that already shows you something. I mean, in Counter-Strike, like we're saying that maybe the team that's playing in the Russian tournaments doesn't meet with the German teams at all, but probably they've met at some point in the past, or they know a little bit about each other, or like ESEA or whatever, this kind of league where they are mixing with each other. So there are possibilities like these. But I want to throw back to a week ago when we had the League of Legends finals right here. All the teams that came here, there was like number 1 and number 2 team from Czech and Slovakia, so they knew each other, but all the rest were like, hey, we don't know anything about these guys. We don't know if we should be afraid of them or not. We don't know how they're playing. Right here, there's nothing like that, so that's good.
There's going to be more Nuke by the looks of things.
Amazing.
We've seen a lot of Nuke today, and or I don't know if that was somebody not a fan of Nuke just shouting out, heckling the players, but I'm not too sure. What do you think of the new iteration of Nuke, just on a side note?
I hate it.
Curveball like that.
I hate it.
Do you?
I mean, I definitely preferred the old one. I mean, I know why the changes had to be made, etc., etc. It's more competitive that way, and overall fresher and looks better and stuff. But in my opinion, it takes away way too much fun from the old Nuke. Like, you could do so much with the movement. There were so many bunny hop jumps or long jumps on this map where not so many people could get, or run boosts or overall boosts where you could get to otherwise inaccessible positions. And what they did, they just made catwalk. And they like erased 6 jumps with one freaking position. And I'm like, yeah, so there goes the fun of playing this map.
There's some Polish mad right there by the sides of things, some Polish tilt. I think that Nuke is very Marmite. I think you either love it or hate it. These teams, I think that you definitely see that. We've got a lot of teams here, but everybody plays Nuke. So I think that if you don't necessarily practice it, you're going to ban it. It's probably going to be a permanent ban. We saw in the first couple of months, in the first 6 to 9 months of Nuke being re-added to the map pool, we saw loads of teams permaban it, and it's only recently with the addition of Virtus Pro picking it back up, and Astralis obviously playing it, SK deciding to maybe reintroduce it, and obviously that we've seen lots of teams reintroducing it into the map pool as an advantage, because it's such a disadvantage to have a permaban that you always have to ban. It means that you can cater those picks and bans towards who you're playing, and that can give you a really sour taste going into a best of 1 or a best of 3.
And yeah, with Inferno coming back, Dust was also kicked out. So, especially for Virtus Pro, as you pointed out, Dust was pretty much a perma ban for them.
Yeah.
So Dust disappears, they learn Nuke, and their map pool all of a sudden seems so much bigger. And
yeah, and they jump right back up to the top, don't they? I think that we've seen Virtus Pro always be very hit and miss on Dust 2. I would like to see how they are on the new iteration of it when it gets reintroduced, but looks like we're going straight through to the knife round, and it's Nuke that's going to be our final best of 1 of the day. And what do you reckon about this knife round? Do you reckon that both these teams are going to be plumping for the CT side?
Since Planetkey actually picked T side in the previous matchup, and Playing Ducks actually were so inconsistent in the match just a while ago, I don't think it's going to make such a big difference right here who wins the knife round and which side they pick. Because at the end of the day, it's always going to go down to the last rounds. I feel like this far today, in most of the matches with the exception of like 1, it didn't matter at all what happened in the very beginning of the map. All that mattered was the ending. Because somehow the teams found like newborn determination and all that motivation to try and win.
That's how you finish, right?
Yeah.
And both of these teams have had experience at finishing a couple of maps today. Planetkey going for a very aggressive push out and away, and Playing Ducks don't seem to have the right retake position to actually go for this. They've actually formulated some sort of attack and finally finding some headshots as Kalinka comes in, misses the shot. As Hype needs to hit some shots, but it's not happening. Planetkey pick up our first round in our consolidation final.
Yeah, so there we go. Playing Ducks actually picking the CT side for themselves, yet losing the pistol round. That's going to be quite a good start for Planetkey Dynamics to get themselves into the game, to try and minimize the cost of losing that CT side as their starting side, I guess. But still pretty close, I definitely wanted to say. Hype was down to 6 HP, but he had a chance of killing one terrorist. So it was unlucky for him and that he died, but had he got that kill, it probably would have gone the other way around. So all went down to just one single moment.
Playing Ducks are already setting themselves up for an AWP. Lucky is actually saving, only buying up a CZ75, and I really like this from him. I feel like Playing Ducks are probably going to go for this double eco, but the UMP just tearing him up, already finding the damage. But Lucky, oh no, finds 2 with the CZ, and this actually throws a big spammer in the works, and Pulse needs to deal the damage, and he's actually not going to happen, as Lucky finds a couple of shots in with the 5-7 as well, whiffs and misses, as Alex R capitalizes another one on the UMP, as that's 1800 in his pocket. But Hype, his position still hasn't been neutralized and found out yet, as he's sneaking about on this B site. They've not found him, and this Eagle rains through, doing the damage, and he actually salvages this bomb, but it's not enough. Playing Ducks does the damage, but not the round.
And Alex with a quad kill. You pointed out his AWP, this time with a rifle, with an AK-47. An amazing play from Nucky, but my question is, oh Nucky, why do you have to be so inconsistent, unfortunately? With a 5-7, had he gotten the kill in the vents, and that was actually Alex who got a quad kill, that would have erased the all the opportunities for Planetkey Dynamics to actually take this round.
Yeah, look at this. Look how many bullets he just whiffed, and the pause coming in already, and a quick unpause there, but obviously not firing on all cylinders from the offset. Want to be correcting those plays, just take a quick breather, quick break, and realize that it doesn't actually matter too much. Planetkey Dynamics now, they do have a Mach 10 of their own, and looks like they're going to be taking all aggression towards ramp. A fast play from them as the Mach 10 leads the charge. Pulse G does find the first, pistols out, and he is finding more. Otto in midair finds another one. It's the headshots galore for Planetkey as they move down to B, and just 2 for Playing Ducks left as they go for this flank. Payne tiptoeing his way down to the B site, but this Mach 10 can definitely do the damage, and it is. Lots of money in the pocket for Planetkey.
For sure, and now only Lucky remaining. This time I think it's not going to be possible for him to pick up an AK-47 and still wreak some havoc to the enemy team. It's just a matter of time before he dies, but he will definitely be looking for at least 1 kill, so he's not going to give up. He's not going to run out just yet. But that has to be 3-0. Planetkey Dynamics, good beginning on the T side. And as we know, the vent wasn't even broken, so the worst thing that could happen to him. But as we know from the match against Gameplay DNA, on the T side they would do okay, and when they found their way onto the CT side, they would demolish Gameplay DNA. So there's a big possibility Planetkey Dynamics will do exactly the same right here. And if they already have such a good start, it will only get worse for Playing Ducks. So they better pull it off on this round. They have an AWP for luck, yeah. They are missing any of the defuse kits, so it's definitely going to go down to shooting for the most part.
Yeah, and Planetkey taking some really decisive rounds means that they can buy up into the next few, and they'll find themselves on a 5-0 scoreline, or even worse if they manage to pick up a couple, but Playing Ducks seem to be shutting it down. Planetkey Dynamics, how did this happen? Losing 3 players very early, and there's the bomb as well. All out in the open, exposed and through. Kalinka picks one up as well, only dropping 1 in the process. Impulse is the last player alive, does the damage. They're going to get finally dispatched of by Nucky, who does clean that round up, but 3 players alive from Playing Ducks isn't going to be decisive enough to build that economy.
Oh man, not sure, but still in the previous round, when I saw Alex get the first kill and him having a superior position in the smoke, I actually got the flashbacks of the quad kill and thought that maybe it's possible once again. But at the end of the day, luckily enough for Playing Ducks, wasn't. But yeah, it's going to be quite close in terms of the equipment. The Seats are still missing a little bit of stuff on their side. They're also playing with a UMP-45, but Cressy with just a Tech 9. And I don't think it has to be a disadvantage for him. Many a times these Tech 9s are just even an advantage at some point. So maybe that's this mobility is going to give him the upper hand.
Finds that initial pick though, and This is Playing Ducks stuck back into 4, and they're committing a couple of players down towards B as well. Playing Ducks are very split up and being Molotov and smoked out. Kalinka can't even get vision on this B side right now. Sprays anyway, completely blind, but Planetkey going to survive and maybe even get that bomb down in a 5v3 now, and they do. In Playing Ducks, what can they even do in this situation apart from save?
Well, they can still choose to die, actually. Robson and Nato getting these kills. Out finishing off once again. Just waiting for another quad kill with the Deagle.
What an awful round from Playing Ducks, though. They just committed all of their players in a 5v3, really unnecessarily. They didn't need to give away that advantage. They had an AWP, a couple of M4s. Why are you throwing that away? You should use it into this 6th round instead of just having this scrappy buy.
Look at that.
Look, they force sport as well, so this is Planetkey almost likely going to be up to 5-1. Then they're going to be ecoing, so it's 6-1. And then Planetkey Dynamics staring up a 7-1 lead before Playing Ducks can even get on the board. But these pistols doing the damage. The AWP drops as well. Ooh. How are Playing Ducks doing this? Finding the damage straight through the wall as well. Cressy is pretty low, but does dispatch of one more. That's hyped down, and Playing Ducks 3 versus 2 just need to hold serve, but they haven't accounted for Otto, who's playing the distance. But Payne, what a shot! Finds one through, and it's only Cressy left. 27 HP on him, and has to back off with 1 minute left. Finding a different position completely. Playing Ducks just need to play this one more passive. Don't need to overcommit to this, and they will find themselves back on the board. And this is a huge set of difficulties for Planetkey. They've got to really reassess what they're doing at this point.
Yeah, but we just criticized how Playing Ducks played in the previous round. Right now, it's even more horrible for Planetkey Dynamics, but that was just a big surprise. That was just an amazing idea right there that the Playing Ducks had. And them forcing up, we saw that they got 2 rifles for themselves. And then I thought about what you said. It was pointless to just send out the 3 remaining rifles in the previous round for certain death. It would have been a full buy right there. 2 rifles plus 3 rifles makes 5 rifles. Simple math, right? Would have been a full buy right here had they just decided to save. And I was surprised that they just died knowing that they would have that kind of an opportunity. And it turned out that with the pistols, it's even better. So I was talking about the Tech 9s in this context, but it turns out the CZs and 5.7s are actually even better.
Yeah, they did find a lot of kills, and now a stalemate. Kalinka just taking a blind shot through the smoke and connecting. Cressy didn't know what smacked him in the face. And Planetkey Dynamics, after dropping that bomb, has to reconvene, reconsider their options, and maybe move back to this A site where they're assuming some sort of split. Paying up on her is just looking down, throws flashbang after flashbang down. He's going to peek behind it. Playing Ducks don't need this to happen. It's the AWP straight through. Alex again with the entries this time on Nuke. We saw him play superb CS on Overpass earlier and showing us what he's made of again on Nuke. Nuki on this site needs to show us something really big. Does find one first opening headshot. Hype chips in as well. AWP in hand. Ooh. What a no-scope! And Planetkey Dynamics get decimated by the AWP of Nuki.
I don't know if I would agree with Decimate. I mean, yeah, it was an amazing play, but overall it was Planetkey Dynamics holding the upper hand right here.
They got cut the hell down. He picked up that AWP and destroyed that site.
Great shot, but once again, I'm getting back to the point that Playing Ducks are just not as consistent as they should be. It happened once, yeah, but what if they get into such a situation again? They will be losing 3 more rounds.
It was such a destructive collapse. It just all enclosed onto that site, and there was nothing that Planetkey Dynamics could do about it. And look at Lucky coming through the smoke again. Oh, CZ in hand. He's playing a little bit slower than probably expected. However, these Tech 9s actually sneak their way down underpass, tiptoeing their way through, and they are possibly going to catch him through, but Lucky does find it as Alex are looking for one. Oh, looking for the second as well, but just misses. Planetkey holding on for dear life as this 3v2 comes into effect. An 8K picked up onto poles as well. However, they do make their way onto the site. Nukji is holding it down, finding both kills in the end. In Planetkey, what can they get going for themselves?
Nukier slowly but surely just committing to more and more of these rounds. That's what I love to see. Like you said, with the AWP, he completely decimated Planetkey right at the end of that round. That was actually getting quite hopeless for Playing Ducks. That's good. But I didn't believe in his consistency. But now he steps it up again. So it's starting to make sense. It's starting to look good for Playing Ducks right now on the C side. But then you still have to take into account that it's CT side. An amazing deagle of a shot from Otto. AWP gets picked up. Now it could be a reverse Nukier situation.
Oh, look at this next one as well. Pos doing so much damage, but always going to connect to the kill as well. The All Brains out on the other side of the map as well. 5v2 situation for Planetkey, who have taken this one back. Robson finding one as well, and this could be a clean eco. Unless Hype has anything to say about it. Got an M4, but he's being chipped down to 0.
Come on.
The DU headshot comes through, and Planetkey, clean sights.
Nobody died on a round where they played with 3 Kevlars. Mostly Deagles, some not even that. It's just amazing! And as I said, it could have been a reverse Nukier situation. They picked up an AWP, Cressy was able to land a shot with it.
PK have had loads of eco rounds as well, so it's only fitting that they would win 1 or 2 of them. And it looks like a very fast push onto A as Playing Ducks don't look like they're watching out for this one. An explosive entry onto the A site, backed up with the AWP of Alex R. Needs to rattle some shots through as this bomb is actually still quite a distance away. It's actually been dropped behind, but Planetkey finding the shots anyway, cleans up the round without taking any casualties.
This is getting out of hand. I mean, Playing Ducks, they get right back at Planetkey Dynamics. When they need to, they take these rounds, trying to turn it all around, trying to keep it close. But then when they actually even out the scoreline, Planetkey once again just double their efforts and show how strong they actually are. And every single time I see such a play for Planetkey Dynamics, just makes me more confident in the sentence that they should be the ones to win this.
But
then you have
Nukier
stepping
find
up.
the one, and Kang does find the second as well. Changes it on through, and Playing Ducks seem to be having some sort of block here. Alex, the last player through, and he's actually evaded detection through the smoke, escapes with an AWP, but with 1:20 left, I find it hard to believe that he would find his way out of this site, and with a bomb dropped on A as well, this is looking dangerous at best, shaky at worst, and Planetkey really want to keep the momentum going. They've been performing so admirably and sneaking his way through ladder. This could be very predictable here for Alex R. He's changing up his tack once more as he rotates through, got this trusty deagle in hand, and might sneak in behind Playing Ducks and decides to actually go up top instead, make some noise. I don't think he's close enough to Playing Ducks to actually spot that one out, but Alex R using every single second he needs in this round.
Well, yeah.
He's just looking at the angle, watching it, and very patient from him. Will nail the shot, spraying the final man down, and Playing Ducks levels up the scoreline once again. Still not convincing CT side though.
It's tough to say, really. I mean, most of the time it's about something individual, like a headshot with the deagle from Otto that guarantees them an AWP. An amazing play from Nukier, and he's done that like 3 or 4 times already over the span of 6 rounds. So this is amazingly good of the rate of like these clutch situations. But how long can he keep up? Because for the past 2 maps, it's not actually been too long.
I love this smoke inside from Planetkey. It really keeps Playing Ducks guessing whether the inside push or the split's going to come in, and it happens that it probably won't, as all members of Planetkey have snuck their way down lower, finding a kill through Dawn as well. They're speeding up behind this, unless Hype has anything to say about it. He's on this site, pincering it down, and this bomb can't get in without taking him down, but they're just going to change it up and go towards A instead, and not walk into this crossfire. The Playing Ducks' defense has been completely circumvented.
Yeah, great idea right here. And I mean, the only death that happened on Planetkey's Dynamics side was Cressy. that actually got blocked by the doors, but he saw that they were open, so he kind of made that mistake himself, and it's a funny mistake to make. Should not be happening at this level of play, but what does it matter if the rest of the team just does so well? And yeah, he has a kill still, even after his death. Found one a little bit earlier. Robson has one, Alex has one. Pulse G and Otto will still be looking for their own. Hype and Lucky, they have to keep away. They have to stick away from Planetkey Dynamics. This time, if they save up these weapons, you saw what they could do with actually just 2 rifles and some pistols. It is possible to win rounds like these. And good kill from Lucky, making it a little bit less acceptable for Planetkey Dynamics, less profitable. So
yeah, this ult from Lucky has to really go down here, and he's overcommitting. Will get found out by Robson, who nails the headshot, and that is a really great result for Planetkey to eliminate that AWP from the server. As you said, it can have so much effect, especially on such an open map such as Nuke. We've seen loads of players in this tournament, Carcass finding multiple kills with the AWP, and by changing up his position and just mixing and dicing the T side, especially as a defender. And you see only the 1 M4 saved up, and Hype's got a lot of work to do. Won't even find one is Krezi. Oh, he blasts Hype out the server.
Now they just need to finish off 4 more. I mean, this should be a matter of seconds for Planetkey Dynamics in this round, facing off against pistols after all.
No.
Yeah, not even a single Kevlar. Kalinka though has a deagle, and it's more than enough to get at least one, and I'm saying at least because I believe that he could find even more.
He's stuck in, and he will find that first shot. More damage as well, but he does back off. He has salvaged that bomb. However, Planetkey will find him out and take him on back into their territory. Bits of damage being done, but just Kalinka left, and an AK-47 in hand, being mollied out of this site. Alex R is holding down this angle as well, and that Molotov is going to completely give away his position. Kalinka just looking for an additional kill, I think, at this rate. I don't think that it's going to do anything. It's Planetkey Dynamics have enough money to buy up into all of these following rounds, but a 1v4 and a 1v3 now definitely isn't really on the cards for Kalinka, who might even just decide to back off. He's not even got a kit, so it would just be throwing away a rifle unnecessarily.
So unlucky right there from Nukia to just run straight into the spot where Alex is waiting. But overall, I didn't even expect him to get a kill so easily with a USB, so I have to say a job well done with Kalinka saving up an AK-47 here. Not a bad round for playing Thugs at the end of the day, but definitely also not a good one, not a round that they'll be happy with, because these guys, they are fed up with losing rounds for sure. They cannot afford to lose the rounds anymore. Right now, it's getting into the dangerous zone where Planetkey already have 8 rounds after the T side, and you have to keep in mind that they will be stronger on the second half.
Yeah, and Planetkey are gaining a nice little bank behind them. Most of their players on 6k, with only Robson stuck back on 2, but this is a great buffer to work into the next 2 rounds. They're definitely not going to have to skimp on utility, on weaponry either, and playing Ducks know that they need to take some sort of risk, and it's not panning out in the way that they expected. Holes gets a nade out at unconventional time and misses out for it. Hyde does find one, but he can't back off in time before getting lost in translation. Robson needs to find some damage on the other side of the map as these Planetkey members reconvene and find their way towards A. This bomb surely going to go down now as the Molotovs rain on through, and Hype needs to get the peak on at the same time as Kalinka, but they're being Molotoved out. How are they going to get into this site at all? Poles and Alex are very low. However, Robson does go down, and just Alex left. He's on 9 HP. How the hell is he going to be able to do this without hitting some lightning fast headshots? Alex does drop through the corner of the smoke. Planetkey concede one more, as Playing Ducks might not be out of this one just yet.
This is just nasty. Every single time a team actually gets into their zone, grabs that kind of tempo that they should have, starts getting the momentum, they get brutally interrupted by something completely unexpected, like right here. Hype should not have been able to get through this incendiary, but somehow he got a kill instantly. And at the same time, Kalinka got one, and then Alex with only 9 HP had nothing to say at that stage. I mean, maybe both the teams are just not good at playing it out safe. Maybe they're just good at brute forcing through.
Yeah, and Lucky's playing awfully close to this smoke. Planetkey could definitely get caught out by this aggressive play from Playing Ducks. However, with the turret that is Robson playing Heaven, this is a very difficult round for for Playing Ducks to perhaps win, as Planet Dynamics seem to be moving all the way down to this B site without any contest. They might even get this bomb down right now.
No.
Only Lucky on this B site, and he's only got 40 HP left, less than that in fact, and he's already found a kill, so his position's all said and done. Needs a bit of support from Kalinka, who does find one more, almost the second as well. Lightning fast and very close from Kalinka. Have a Planetkey. How are they going to get onto this site? I don't really know right now, as Playing Ducks seem to have an ironclad defense on this B site for the last round of the half. Seem to be committing a lot of members down here to support the low HP Hype, who is just seeing if he can move around to and through this pillar down on the site. And Planetkey don't have anything going for them in a 2-on-4, and the AWP doesn't really rain through, but Hype peeks it just in time. Kalinka finishes him off, and as close as you get, 7-8.
A triple kill from Kalinka right here, and seemingly like struggling a lot. Some of these kills he was very much struggling to get, but some of them were really beautiful. So hard to find any balance. Still, the inconsistency is there, but it's consistent at being inconsistent this far in this matchup. It's just so funny and so weird, so awkward to watch, but also just so good, so addictive, I'd say.
I would say that that's one way that you could sum up the whole day here at ELC, being consistently inconsistent. And this pistol round might throw up no spoilers either, as Lucky does have a Molotov, so this is probably going for an A Heaven play. However, are they rotating down to B, trying to catch Robson out? No, it is the Heaven play. Of course it is. What they want to do is they want to plant this bomb on A site and get the Molotov down there just in time, but they might be finding the kills anyway. Lucky does find one, and he just needs to stay alive in this position. Don't die with the Molotov. He does and drops it. However, gives Planetkey a look into this round, but Kalinka, does get shot down. Krezi, what a beautiful shot, and makes his way into this site. This pistol round could be doable as Robson finds a headshot as well. Hype does nail one shot. Krezi, a beautiful headshot. How does he do it? Every single time it seems like Krezi is the man who steps up.
Amazing of a situation, and it's just a reverse of what's happened just a while ago. It was about Kalinka and Nuke peeking at some completely unexpected situations when Alex was left with 9 HP in the mini. It's exactly the same kind of thing. Another 2v3, another one that should not have been won, but this time the other way around.
What's this buy-up? 5 UMPs for the Planetkey side. I definitely don't like this, especially against...
But there are no tech nines.
But yeah, but this is actually well coordinated, since Playing Ducks they definitely got the bomb down into this round, into that last round. So Planetkey just want to be rolling with the money, getting as many of those. They want that $3,000 buffer. However, it means that they're going to actually have to keep a couple of these UMPs into a buy round that is unconventional and kind of weak. However, on Nuke it is workable and doable. Playing Ducks have just a couple of pistols, and really the best case scenario is a bomb plant over towards B, do a little bit of damage. They haven't even got any deagles, so not much damage is on the cards either. However, these UMPs are raining in some damage so far.
The bomb plant is what Planetkey cannot allow Playing Ducks to get right here.
I don't think they will allow it, to be honest. I think they've got a pretty decent, solid defense at this point. I don't see any gaps in their defense that they could be caught out from. And yes, 5 UMPs, obviously, like racking up all kills, and that's going to be an extra $3,000 in their pocket. However, the disadvantage of having extra UMPs is also there.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a thing, but I feel like them switching out 3 of them would not be such a bad thing, and keeping 2 of them would be okay. But these guys are absolute madmen, and they're going
the
for
reason why that's the wrong idea is if they win this round, they are so far ahead. They're going to obviously have that money.
If they lose it, they still have the full
and
buy,
if they lose it, they've got the full buy into the 90.
But I don't like it.
Planetkey, and since Playing Ducks haven't actually got too many rounds on the board, they can actually afford to kind of go for that gamble for a much bigger lead, and especially on a map like Nuke where there are so many close range engagements, it's really, really powerful. However, Playing Ducks, they do need this round desperately, otherwise they're going to be a few miles behind this CT side, who would be up to 12 rounds already and have the money to close out this map and match and get straight through to the grand final here today. Kalinka trying to pick his way through, but Poles is playing on this site and he's going to be faced up against 2 pretty soon. Kalinka taking some pop shots. That isn't a player. Poles is going to find one.
Oh my goodness!
What he's got to take, but they skewer peas, all the damage. Nucky does take another one, but gets down very, very low. Oh, stays alive. But Krezi with 100 HP and AK-47 as well. It does go down to Nucky. A lightning fast headshot, and that was crucial for Playing Ducks. They needed that round.
He had the bomb in the main. He just smoked it off, and he decided to run away from there because probably, yes, he was aware that the enemies would have run him down simply. But, oh my goodness, 10 HP of both of them. That could have been so easy to pull off, but he couldn't just start. He couldn't just get the start. Now, Lucky is going to be playing with an XM1014, and as we said, even if they lose, they have a full buy still. So it's not like it's the end of the world for Planetkey now, but I can't find myself to have liked that play. Lucky.
Just his way
come on. The first shot was on the left-hand side, and the second on the right-hand side of the head of this guy. That could have been a double kill so very easily.
That was disgusting stuff. The XM is a brutal weapon at close range, and Lucky definitely utilizing its benefits. Moving down into ramp though is hype, and he's chasing down this CT. Robson needs to get back onto this B site quickly and call in a rotation fast, as Playing Ducks is very quickly approaching, and they need to stop this bomb going down. However, they're in a quite difficult position with all these teams rotating round. The smoke goes down, and Robson is still on this site, misses the one shot. That was crucial.
That's bad.
Hype stays alive regardless, and in a 3v4, Planetkey have such a great threat. Knife comes out. Is he actually going to do it? No, Kalinka stays alive and finds a headshot. Slash and dice, doesn't find it. Alex does chip thing with 1, but in a 3 versus 2 now, a 1 versus 3. How is Nucky going to get out of this situation? He's got to hit some fast headshots and does take the first spray down, but Planetkey need to be encroaching onto this side, blasting the doors open. The Molotovs, they missed the flash down as well. The double spray down almost comes in, but Nucky misses in the end, and that bomb can be defused in sweet time.
They missed the flashbang entirely, but let's get something straight. The knife attempt was so bad.
it was not really well timed.
I'm actually surprised that there actually was a possibility to pull it off. Although he did it so horribly that, yeah, he just died. But the reaction was very slow on the terrorists. It actually was possible. But in my opinion, it just would have been so much better to try and pull off that kill with the rifle, simply. But he was already shooting at a guy in the fence, and they still weren't aware that he was right behind that smoke. It was stupid on the side of Playing Ducks, but even more stupid on the side of Planetkey.
Planetkey is still staying in this game regardless, and we might be up for another close map of Nuke here. Nuke is really trying to win me over, isn't it, today? Otto doesn't find that kill, but gets out with his life, which is the most important factor, and he is holding this flank as well. I think that a lot of teams, a lot of CT sides really neglect the fact that the Ts can take this much map control really early on into the round as well. It surprises a lot of these tier 2, tier 3 teams. I think that only a couple of teams in the world have really nailed that defense, but trying to take some cheeky shots through as Alex R chips in with 2 headshots, and that's a lot of money in his pocket against this eco. Hype being the last player alive against 4 has to do some damage here, since he cannot let Planetkey Dynamics go through to the business end of this half, the 21st round with 4 players alive, growing this economy, 12 rounds on the board. They'd be so close to winning. And freeze time has been called as well, so maybe Playing Ducks deciding that they need a bit of time out. And I'd love to hear what those TeamSpeak servers are like right now, because Playing Ducks, yeah, they weren't feeling confident before this game. We know that already. However, maybe now they've taken a couple of rounds on the board. They could have went from demoralized to destroyed. I think that it could be difficult. This bomb, is it going to go down? Are you joking?
Oh, yes! Yes, he planted it.
That's so cheeky. Alex, what you playing at, mate?
I was talking about how inconsistent everybody was this far. But right now, I don't even know what to call it. Inaccurate, basically. Everybody's being
awful?
so inaccurate. Like, no, I don't want to say awful. I don't want to use such strong words.
That was awful. He whiffed like 20 shots just then with a UMP. We've got to call it what it is. It was whiffing. Everybody misses a shot occasionally. Can we have a listen to any of the team speaks? Have we got any of those ready?
На карту на колосом банку, бля.
Have a look.
Kažkas nušokė į ventą.
They're sounding very calm and composed, aren't they?
Pačiu dar, tipo iš karto. Ir po to atsitraukėm į rampą.
It's
Ir jis sekins, blėt.
Gali pakartot
čia. Vieną nuleidžiam į ventą, sumetam smoke sieną lauke.
alright. That's right now Planetkey Dynamics.
Gerai.
Ihr kennt einfach, macht Existence und Archie.
Oh, he doesn't sound very happy to say.
Dann darfst du nicht mehr gehen.
Doch. Ich mach diesen Anti-Typ halt.
Okay, we're talking about asking around which kind of strat they want to go for.
So is this a T side that we're listening to now?
CT, the CT.
Ja, aber wir können schon durch sein dann. Vorsicht.
So Planetkey, obviously with low money, really want to, well, they haven't got low money, but they've got a low buy regardless. I don't know, I think that they might have misevaluated
Bin ich auch noch Main da, man hat es nicht gehört.
money. Oh no, Alex has got an M4 on the range, so it is going to be a nice buy for Planetkey.
Also außen smoke schnell, dass sie denken.
Winning this round would be crucial for them. They know that they're a couple of rounds away from this grand final, and in a really important time as well. Just after that pause, they sounded very focused coming into what could be the final rounds of the tournament for Playing Ducks. They're 8 rounds away from winning this game, but they've not got many rounds left to work with. They've got about 10 or so to hit right now, and Playing Ducks playing outside. With the split down. Oh, the kill! Krezi slices and dices Kalinka and finally gets what he bargained for. Finally gets the much sought for knife kill. And I think that's our first knife kill of the day.
Insane! Yes, it is. And this is so insane. I mean, he was waiting there with the intent to get a knife kill. He did not care about anything else.
So cheeky. Robson puts that parting flash through, and that's going to slow down these T's as they rotate through. Robson just has to stay alive for as long as possible and wait for the rotation, but it's not really coming. Krezi is going to nail the headshot as long as that knife kill comes in. Robson does drop, and Alex is going to be the next to fall as well. Krezi is being Molotov'd out of this site, but as the retake comes in before this bomb even goes down, Krezi, is he actually going to peek through this choke point? He does. Finds a headshot on the bomb planter. But he does get traded through. 8-12 scoreline as Aldo. He's actually moving onto this site now, and they need to dispose of Nucky through Toxic, and they are going to do that with the nades. There's the Molotov as well. He's being burnt out like a rat. He's actually being taking so much damage right now. 34 HP left, and there's the headshot as well. Aldo doing it all alone.
That's going to be 13-8 in favor of Planetkey. But right now, I mean, how insane do you have to be to, like, say to your team when you're fighting for the finals, when you're fighting for a bigger chunk of money and for a huge chance to even take the first place spot in the tournament, to say, hey guys, I'm going to get a knife kill this round.
Oh, let's have a look at it. Oh, let's have a look at this knife kill. Oh, this is so cheeky. Do we actually see it? Look at Krezi. Yeah. He's down there waiting, stabs, finds this moment, and that has got to be crushing. If you're 8-13 down, how are you supposed to summon the inner confidence to make a comeback when you're being stabbed in the back?
But how do you even assure your team that it's going to work out?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell? Who the hell agrees to that? Oh, I'm wondering what's inside the heads of Planetkey Dynamics, but these guys have some very strong mentality in here. Now a clean sweep to obliterate Playing Ducks, and this is sealing the deal. That's about it. There is a chance for Playing Ducks to still get a couple of rounds, but it would be completely demolished if they actually manage to turn around, because that should not be possible.
Planetkey are looking like a winning team right now. They're really not slowing down, and you see a 5-rifle setup. They're not going for the AWPs. They are in a prime position to punish any of these fast plays, and you see they've got quite a few Molotovs actually moving on through, and they're getting aggressive, being punished for it, mind you. However, this rotate to the B side has to come through now. Krezi is going to take one back. It is a 2v3 situation. However, Otto needs to retreat back to this A site. Playing Ducks need to just fall back and keep calm right now. Otto is actually going to find that headshot, being mollied back, cannot go for the retreat. And Playing Ducks, how are they going to get through? Pulse is in a prime position to actually take these two down. Looking for the last one as well, but Pound isn't going to let that happen. Otto on 33 HP. How is he even going to do this?
Incendiary smoke, the fuse kit's not looking so bad in terms of what equipment he's got, but even better grenades on Playing Ducks' last player's opponent. Now is his moment, now is his chance, and actually Otto is very far away, or at least the farthest away he can be at this stage of the round from the bomb plant.
It's a 1v1 though, and it's looking like a precarious position. Just one bullet in the dome could end Pound, and he does find the rotate through. Here's the smoke down, and he finds it by the door. How does he do that? Unbelievable, Otto! No, he's going to get the defuse, and that's 15 rounds out of nowhere for Playing Ducks, for Planetkey. That is unbelievable.
And that is so devastating. He just opened the door to take a peek, and the guy did not stop shooting. He just continued to spray now. Like, he knew exactly what he's gonna do. Like, he knew exactly that it's already his kill confirmed.
Reading him like a book, and Planetkey from start to finish, it looks so convincing. If throughout this whole matchup, and Playing Ducks, what can you do about it? I don't even think that they've underperformed. I think that Planetkey, to the contrary, have played a really, really solid game of Nuke. And if you're eSuper, you've got to be watching this and thinking, we've got a pan Nuke against these guys. Pulse does take another one, and this might be the end of the game, the end of the road for Playing Ducks. A 4 versus 3, and Alexar is been running rampage from start to finish with the AWP. These T's need to breach one of these bomb sites, and I'm not sure it's going to happen anymore. Planetkey with an ironclad defense throughout the whole map, finding advantages, picks, and a really solid CT side.
Yes, but the equalizer's been found, and Alexar is down to 43 HP. He's been struggling to get another kill right there out in the yard and has to run away. Now, they're not any kind of close to the lowest side, with the exception of Otto. And is he actually going to want to act so quickly? Oh my goodness, what a flop!
This is all over, isn't it? Hype 1 versus 3 to keep Playing Ducks alive, and is he even going to get the bomb down? Planetkey spraying desperately onto this bomb site. Hype trying to chip back with everything he can do. Takes 1 and 2, double spray down. Alex is very, very low as well. This could be a third. Pistol's out. How is he missing? How is he missing? Hype needs to get this nade off right now. Pistol's missing. Alex! That was unbelievable. Planetkey clutching it out of nowhere, and Hype missing at the end. Snods is going to be chuckling it home. That was unbelievable. 16-8.
But this round was comedy, but on the side note, over the last like 5 rounds,
he missed like 40 shots, man.
Everything that could have gone wrong for Playing Ducks has gone wrong. This is so cruel to them. But I mean,
throw it away. Well, how can you even count stats at this point? He missed 40 shots. He missed a whole spray with the AK. Got the pistol out and missed everything else as well.
He had 9 HP and dropped with his back turned toward the guy and instantly flicked to get a headshot with a 5-7. I have no idea what the hell happened in the last round. Let's say it was actually 15-8 in favor of Planetkey Dynamics, and that's where the game ended. The last round never happens. And everybody's going to be happy with it.
Wow, yeah, Planetkey are going to be really happy with that game. They've secured themselves a spot in our grand final in just a few moments. We're obviously going to take a break, and they're going to have a bit of a breather because they've just played 2 maps straight, remember. 2 games of Nuke as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
So So they're going to be feeling really hot and really turbocharged right now, but also really tired. So I would like to see them get like a good 20 minutes off and be able to repair and just like reevaluate what you're doing. Because you can see this, when a team plays their heart out, obviously there was 16-8, it wasn't like a really strong, it wasn't a really close scoreline or anything, but you see it in different parts of the map where teams can really fall behind and lose their advantage, and I think that's what Planetekey did in this scenario.
Yeah, and I mean, like in the first half, it was. Let's take a look at the replays in the meantime. In the first half, it was as close as it could have been, actually, right? And every single time Planetkey tried to get ahead, Planetekey immediately replied, but that completely disappeared for the second half, and that's what I've been talking about over and over.
Oh, look at this! This was such a crucial kill, and
yeah,
that was when Planetekey really submerged that.
But a second after, the same thing happened, but from the other side. Planetkey don't have his also pulled off the play.
Yeah,
like
Nuke has that kind of dynamic to be really back and forth, especially on the A side, doesn't it? And we saw so many really good plays, and just before the grand final, to hype everybody up, Planetkey are going to be really happy. And this shot through the door was just disgusting. And hype. Let's see how many shots he misses here. Let's hope that we actually see this whole play.
5.
Misses so many. Alex is on 9 HP, and look, the pistol's out. How many bullets does he miss here? Let's count them down. He's on 20, 17, 15, 14. 6 straight bullets missed.
That's 11 because 5 with the AK for earlier.
Yeah, he could have shot him in the ankle and still made that shot. So obviously, Planetekey, the end of the road for them, but definitely hard fought. They gave us some great Counter-Strike today.
And yeah, it is surely very unfortunate that they lost. They're gonna be pretty sad for sure because they only get the 3rd place and not a huge chunk of that prize money. But I guess for the upside, they gave us quite a good laugh at the end of this last map.
Yeah, they weren't feeling very confident against Planetkey Dynamics anyway. Planetkey probably the favourites coming into this final at this point. If they can play a reserved game, if they can actually take a little bit of a break, to be honest.
And depend less on luck and like random situations and more on like prepared gameplay.
I think I actually disagree with that. I think that they haven't relied on luck too much. I think that their set style has been really powerful from start to finish. I think that their slow, methodical T side,
but it's unreliable.
Is grind out enough rounds to be able to lock down on CT side, and that Planetkey CT side has been rock solid.
Yeah, that's also the second time. But for now, we're gonna have an interview with the winner of this match and the upcoming challenger for eSubbers. So let's see how they will face up against that.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. I'm here with the entry fragger from Planetkey. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling very good, very good. It was a hard match, but I think in the end we did a great job, and yeah.
What do you think let you win it?
I think the map is very good from us. We're playing it a lot, and I think it's one of our best maps, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I was actually talking to Carcass when we were watching, and he was saying that it's quite a tricky map for terrorists, and you guys did very well as terrorists, so like that advantage just allowed you to kind of steamroll. Would you agree with that? Do you think it's harder for terrorists, or do you think it's harder for CT?
Yeah, it's very hard for terrorists. You need to find a way to get the entries, and it's very hard on the map, and if the CTs are not playing the rotation well, we will actually beat them. So,
what makes you guys so good at what you do? Like, what's your special secret?
I cannot say our secrets. We have a little key on the map, and I think it's good for our T side.
What about as a team? Like, not on one map, but as of overall, why do you think you guys are so good?
Well, we are all good friends. We're playing a long time now together, like 6 months. Yeah, a long time. For the German scene, it is long. And yeah, I think we complete each other, and yeah.
That's a good answer. I think so. I think I was so recently we had Big in the finals of a match. How do you match up against them?
Well, I think we can actually beat them. We had a little bad match on overpass. We started great, but ended bad. So we want our revenge, and yeah.
But you have the potential. All right, well, that's good to hear. So that's like, I shift focus. I've asked everyone, Who's your favorite team?
Favorite team is like probably FaZe. Yeah, I think like they have a good team atmosphere and a good way they play, and I think Kerrigan is calling great.
Who's your favorite player? Like out of all the teams, not just FaZe, but like whichever.
I think Nico from FaZe. Yeah, I like his playstyle and his aiming is so good. Yeah.
I was watching a little bit of him yesterday, and he was doing really great. It's definitely one of those teams. So, I mean, like, how did you get started in Counter-Strike? So back in the day, how long have you been playing? Tell us a bit. Tell us the journey you took.
Well, it was in the third class, I guess. Yeah. And I watched my brother playing CS 1.6, and then I played with him a little bit, but only like fun maps, like surf, mini games. Yeah, and then it started. Yeah.
Are you better than him?
Of course.
Are you happy you're better than him?
Yeah, of course. I think my brother's like more like the fun player. He's not playing competitive, and yeah.
So you want to win it all. Are you that competitive player that just you want to win, or do you just enjoy participating?
Both, I guess. I like playing. I have a lot of fun with it, but you don't want to lose. Yeah. So I always want to win.
Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. I guess like the final thing is you guys have been playing together for 6 months. How like LAN events for people who are, you know, not even pro or something like that, but getting better, who might want to go pro just for fun. Do you think they're important? Do you think it's very different to playing at home? Like, what do you think?
Well, I think online is more important because at the beginning you have not that much LAN events, and I think online is more important.
So consistency online. Yes. And what would be your number one tip for people who are watching and who want to get better?
Play, play, and play. A lot.
All right. Well, look, great match, and I'm really looking forward to the finals. What do you think the score will be?
A 2-0 for us.
Nice. Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Well, those are strong words, and hopefully he'll be able to follow through. Regardless, I'm sure we'll have an exciting match between Isuba and Planetkey. They definitely gave us an exciting first one. We'll be taking a small pause at the moment, and then we'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm here with Jonas from Gameplay DNA. You are the manager, if I'm correct?
Yeah, I'm the manager of the guys who are on stage doing their best. So, yeah.
Are you happy with their performance overall in the whole tournament?
Well, I mean, we qualified for the LAN, so that's the good part. But we really expected more from ourselves. So, well, not as happy as we could be, like raising that trophy.
I think that's normal for anyone who's a competitor. So how did you join the team? Like where did the journey begin?
Well, actually, I'm also the founder of the organization. So we started back in like 2013 or something, and started with League of Legends team. But since I went more into Counter-Strike lately, so I don't know, we just met with the guys and they're cool. So we decided to like come together.
Cool, that's a nice idea. So how did you get involved in esports? And decide to start your own team?
Well, like starting my gaming career, I played like Lineage 2 for 8 years, and I always loved competitive games. So then I started playing League of Legends, and I just loved it. I mean, I love the competition. I love the hype behind the esports. I love going to big events like IEM Katowice or any other big esports event. So I really like the vibe, the atmosphere, and the everything that's going around there.
I totally get it. I was at PAX a couple of years ago, and it was my first big event, and I was just like, it just feels so great, and like it's exciting. So I guess like now you guys are focused on Counter-Strike and so on. You're a smaller team and org. Do you think these sorts of events are valuable?
Yeah, of course. I mean, well, first of all, it's always fun to come to the LAN and experience that LAN event, not just playing online from your home, because it's a totally different experience, and you can start preparing for the big stuff that everyone's hope that it's coming behind them. So, yeah, I think it's really valuable, and we enjoy the experience here.
You have quite a young team, don't you? I think the players are under 18, all of them?
Actually, no. We have we have players like 20, 22, 23 years old. Yeah, we're just looking young.
I have the same problem. No one believes how old I am, so it's one of those things.
So you're like 25?
28. But you see, thank you. It's very nice of you. It's one of those things. How about yourself? How old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay, so do you do this full time, or do you do something else as well?
No, this is my part-time job. For my full-time, for the past years, I have organized the biggest gaming expo in the Baltics. So it's called Game On, and we had like 14,000 people there last year. So that's my full-time job, and as a part-time, well, it's not even a job for me. I mean, I don't get any salary, so it's just a fun, which I really enjoy, to try establishing a first org in the Baltics.
Wow, that's like 40,000 people. That's a lot. So what happens at the event?
Well, everything. It's esports, cosplay, conferences, expo. So it's basically a small scale Gamescom.
That's awesome. So, okay, where is it? When is the next event? Give us the details.
Okay, so the next event is on September 16th to 17th in Vilnius, Lithuania. So if you guys do have some idea to visit Lithuania, make sure you do that on that date.
September 16 and 17. That's okay. Well, you guys heard it here first. There we go. All right. Well, I mean, we have the finals coming up. I know you were watching the maps and so on. Who do you think is going to win?
I believe that Planetkey Dynamics is really, really good team. So I believe they should win.
But they lost before to Isuba.
Yeah, I believe they just got overconfident. So I don't think they'll let this happen for the second time.
All right. And what type of score? Do you think it'll be 2-1, 2-0?
I think it's going to be 2-0.
Wow. Okay, that's a pretty strong prediction. Fair enough. So let's switch tacks again, like I've asked everyone else. Who's your favorite team?
I don't know. Really, I don't have any favorite team, but well, I do have Gameplay DNA, of course. But if talking about the big names, so I really don't have any favorite team. I just enjoy watching some amazing plays from any guys. As I said, I just love going to big events and experiencing the live action going on there.
What about any players? Are there any not like one player, but there are certain players that you think like you just love watching and enjoy?
Not in particular, actually. As I said, I just love good plays. So yeah, I just want to see great things happen in esports.
Fair enough. Well, look, I think your team, despite not necessarily getting to the finals, gave us some really exciting matches and so on. So thank you for joining me on the couch and explaining, and best of luck. You guys heard Lithuania, September 16th, September 17th. Thanks a lot. I'll be shooting it to the desk now, where we're preparing just before the match starts.